Are you? Y'all already read it earlier. Y'all read it this time. Time.
So we got two companies.
So-called meat.
What you mean so-called meat?
For example, like if you go to Taco Bell, when they hit you with the meaty cheesy burrito.
That's your fault for going to Taco Bell.
I mean, but what
we already had a segment about Taco Bell.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is
you just really have to bring up. How is that real meat? That real.
Real.
Since you can't hear. Here we go again.
We're talking about like.
Here we go again.
Within that.
About it.
Top. Go back to that. Go ahead.
If they saying it's meaty and it's beefy, they telling you right there that what they're using isn't real. Because they would just call it the meat beef cheese burrito. What they using is meaty.
Right.
What they using is beefy.
Right.
What they using is cheesy.
No, you're right.
So they telling you right there that
it's
we
cheesy.
Got the cheesy beefy BT.
Y'all play too much, man.
No, because if you try to sue them and you go to court, you say, "Hey, man, this ain't nothing real about this burrito. We told you it was the meaty beefy."
Right.
I didn't say it was chicken.
Yeah.
I didn't tell you that.
Because when you go to a real restaurant, what do they call it? Chicken burrito.
No, that's fact. I
Beef
remember.
burrito.
No, you
not beefy.
A little strategy right there. Yeah. You're not telling me. If you don't tell me you serving me chicken, I can't be mad when you don't serve me chicken, right? You said chicken eat.
Yeah, we need chicken.
So yeah, I feel like, how long has this been going on? We won't know, but.
Oh man, the meaty beefies came out like in high school.
But you remember we were talking about how would they word it? So it's gonna be slaughter free. It's never been slaughtered. This it was never alive, so we never. Oh no. I don't know.
I don't know.
Anyway, moving on, man.
Will it be like the same recipe across
I'm
the
done.
board, or
It better be hella cheap. It's not even real. We got to talk about this submersible vehicle that went missing, man. Carrying 5 people, trying to explore the Titanic wreckage.
Oh, that's just sad. This is sad.
For the 5 people, that was very tragic.
Let's talk about it.
Tragic. Rest in peace.
I mean, it's funny because we see that the creators of The Simpsons, he spoke about it, but he said he was on it. He got on that submarine.
The same one?
So something similar.
Okay.
And he said it before you got on. It says it 3 times in bold letters. You may die. So
I'm not getting on.
They knew the job was dangerous before they took it.
Yeah. That's it's just tragic.
It's just little things for me that would have like been a red flag for me. I don't think it was big enough. Like if I would have seen it, it wasn't even as big as a SUV.
Right. There's no standing room. Your body
is super.
Right.
It's just the situation where I think you have to also deal with like low lighting.
Yeah.
Like thick because you're very deep and it's
Yeah.
so it's
What
just sad.
the breaker for me is the game controller to record to. I'm not even trying to be funny, but like
There
if
would
you really getting on something that's already kind of tight quarters and everything, and then you got the game controller, and this is me. I don't know nothing about course subs and
Yeah.
going down, but still, that just doesn't feel right, man.
They're
what
Seemed like you
got
would.
me was that it was the size of a Cracker Jack box, bro.
Yeah,
Come
that's
on,
not
You
cool.
know.
I can't move.
Yes, sir.
We gonna be sitting Indian style
Yeah.
But you're also
for
really, I mean,
for
if you're
6 hours.
these people are
Pass.
true, like they're like do this stuff. They're like novice divers. They're like explorers. This is what they do. They hunt. They go treasure hunting and everything or whatever. They were known for that. The other guy who created the ship. This is what he's been doing for the past like 30 years. So they're very experienced in this. This is just something tragic that happened to them, and people still want to know. Like the Titanic crashed and disappeared. And sunk like how many years ago? And people are still trying to basically see the details of this wreckage. As a matter of fact, I read that one of the pilot actually is related to the original descendants by marriage. So it's just something that comes full circle in 2023 that we're still looking at as yet another tragedy.
I seen.
No, thank you.
I seen a conspiracy theory out there that they were saying basically like some type of sea creature. And remember, we were joking about that last week, and because I feel like that's a possibility too. You look at, I seen something the other day, man, where there's killer whales taking down at least one ship. You know what I mean?
Oh, it's funny, man. So
You know what I mean?
it,
Sea life is moving.
hey, it's an algae bloom that in California right now that's killing sea lions and dolphins and a lot of other marine life. And they say one of the side effects of the toxins that the algae bloom gives off is aggressiveness.
Right.
So
And if you
it
look
is
at
something
the
going on where the
sea
animals.
life
I
or
seen
animal
the
life.
shark attack the
Yeah,
kayaker,
man.
and then
Come
remember the
on.
whale
Come on, man.
swallowed the other
Yeah.
kayakers up. So
Yeah, and ain't no need to go out there right now, man. And I just feel like
Clint is
I feel like
Clint is
I feel like that it for me it wasn't big enough to even pose a threat on sea life. Like I
Right.
feel like you need to be like a significant size in the water. That you know what I'm saying? Because it is when you go that deep in the ocean, we don't know what type of creatures are out there. It's very dark.
right,
The driver's here.
yeah, and it's not like
Good one, guys.
have a good one, and it's not like you're seeing something that, to Damon's point,
Oh,
this has been explored.
what happened.
okay. The guy canceled. Okay. My bad, y'all. Sorry.
It's,
Yeah, it's something that has been we've seen this.
Yeah.
It's not like you're seeing something that has not been discovered or you haven't seen before. It's the Titanic.
Right.
It's you can see pictures of it, you can see photos of it. They made a movie about it. Keep it to the door.
But I'm on that side though. I'm kind of with that theory, especially with the stories about the killer whales. We heard about the aliens. There's other forms of life now where we starting to see the proof. You know what I mean?
And on top of that, like they just
The
had
monkeys.
a very, very, very elaborate discovery happen for the past year. It's getting ready to come out. It hasn't even dropped yet, but basically, this is the first time that we're going to be able to see the wreckage in depth because people. Another group went down there and basically for the first time was able to take technology down there, tape it, see it in real time, real color, like better than we've ever seen it before. So that hasn't even come out yet. So it's just like very crazy that these people perished and then like something's going to come out maybe in a few months or a few weeks or whatever that shows the conditions and what's going on there.
Right.
Stuff that we've never seen before about the wreckage.
All right, y'all, let's move on.
yes, please.
In June of this year, scientists have created the first synthetic embryo from human stem cells. So basically, they raised a synthetic embryo to the age, look at Lynda's face, to the age of 14 days, which is the legal limit. Then they had to destroy it. But it just shows that now this is a human, or well, maybe not a human, whatever you want to call it. This is a life that has been fully synthetically created without sperm, without an egg, no, none of the normal ingredients that you would choose.
You just in there A plus B, huh?
So in a minute, our whole reality fixing to be synthetic. The food gonna be
Fake
synthetic.
food.
The people walking
Fake.
around here gonna be synthetic.
Oh my God.
My thing is, imagine a human being with no mother, no father. Just create.
You already got that. Why would need more of that?
No, I'm saying created though. Like I mean, not even biologically.
Oh, okay. Well, do we? That's not gonna make it no better. It's not.
This dude said beyond babies.
Impossible embryos. Oh,
We got beyond babies. Crazy, baby.
Hey, that's a good one, man. Oh yeah, so just look out, and so basically this could have went full term, but they just had to shut it down because legally, that's the limit is 14 days. But it's just kind of it raises ethical questions because
not cutting all of them off at 14.
I got you. It's somewhere in some dark corner of some part of somebody's
87.
laboratory. Somebody's been fully synthetically created and is walking around here.
Cool, 21 years old.
Yes. And, who knows what that does?
Negro.
Who knows what
they're
that
gonna be like,
does?
who's your mom? I don't know. Who's your daddy? I don't know.
No, they got a story. He got probably parents and everything, man.
Man, this is not
This ain't
good.
good, bro.
I mean,
Hey, he might one of your clients might be a beyond man. We might have beyond.
I mean, it's just one of those things, man. You mean to tell me that with all this technology and all
Right.
these people out here with all this money, somebody not gonna be creative to the point where they gonna be evil? You know what I mean?
Look,
It's
Yeah,
like
you know
just
what?
some stuff happening that's like, come on now.
Hey, so that's a good point.
Like, how much they charging? That's what somebody gonna say. How much you charging for
His
that?
name is
Or
crazy. I'm not going to say his
Yeah.
name. He still didn't change his name, but he made a good point. They're trying to figure out how to extend their lives. So now if you make this synthetic person, I can get a synthetic kidney, a synthetic heart, a synthetic whatever I
now
need.
that makes sense.
Whatever I need to extend my life.
They playing God again.
Come on now.
We've been here before.
We've been here before. So just,
That's dangerous.
got a lot of stuff going on, man. Keep your eye on that one, though. Synthetic babies.
So are they gonna have a label? Because I know the meat will be labeled. Will the people have a label?
Nah,
Like,
you
hi,
know
I'm a
what?
synthetic being.
I think that's going to take a minute before they approve that because when you really think about it, you don't know what that means for the brain development, what type of
what's up with
person
the
that's
moral
going to be.
compass? Yeah.
You don't know what that's going to be because you're basically, for the first time, you're making a human being.
So Obi on our IG said this could be the nicest individual, but at the end of the day, it's gonna be soulless. Now I give it to you. However,
Oh, yeah, that's a nice.
there's a lot of soulless people out here who came from the real product too. So I don't, bro. I don't know. This is, we are playing too much, God right now, and this is not cool.
No facts.
We are playing God too much, y'all. I'm sorry.
We got to move on. Yo, California, the low-income households have increased their limits. Right now, a single person making $70,000 is considered low income. These new numbers just were released, and in some counties, it's even more than that. San Francisco, San Mateo County, 104,000 is considered low income.
Time out. So you mean to tell me 6 figures now
In some counties,
is
it's
low income?
Right. You would qualify for support, subsidized housing programs. SNAP.
6 figures now is low income?
70,000 in our county is low
So you still
income.
have a baby, get WIC.
No, that's going to increase it.
All of that, the 6 figures.
No.
No, that's going to increase
No, that's saying that you broke.
That's saying if you single.
Low income.
Yeah, if you
70
have a kid, it goes up.
70 bands, you broke.
You can,
God.
you can get EBT.
So it brings to the point that California is so expensive now,
Woo.
so
That is
expensive
no-
that what used to be considered not that long ago a strong income is now
I mean, 70?
that used to be considered very, very strong.
So
I mean,
now,
but how many of us see people? I mean, families leaving California a lot. Just in the shop alone, we've lost a lot of customers. A lot of people have relocated.
yeah,
Family members. A lot of people are going to other states because what? The affordability. So
Man,
this is out here.
this is crazy. 70 bands and you
Hey.
broke?
And that mean if you high value, you gotta be like 200,000-300,000. You
I
gotta
ain't-
be him.
But you already know the percentage of that. That is around the world. That's low. What was the percentage?
so
I don't even know right now off the top, but yes. So Clint brought up a good point. I can get EBT now. So yeah, they those are
What
the
you
new
mean now, Clint? You know you didn't work the system. Shut up.
now. I can get it straight up. That's what
would
he
you feel a
means.
certain way if the people that they're creating in the lab get on services?
Oh, and
Or-
Shauna said that's gross, not net.
If the people that create, I ain't got no care in the world for somebody created like that.
You said what?
They shouldn't get none of the benefits. She asked if the creative people in the
Oh, come on, man.
if they should get benefits. Ain't nobody worried about them. They created.
You know what? They are created. We got to just keep our eye on that, man, because now you don't know how long this has been going on. This might be, like you said, there might be a lot of people. They might be making the Winter Soldier. You know what I'm saying? The perfect army.
Obi
You
did
know?
say it's. He said he can't remember the exact term, but it's due to the drop in the value of the U.S. dollar by 70,000.
Inflation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not only inflation, but the drop of the dollar also. So it's like at an excessive rate. It's like
There's no value in it.
Let's moving on, man. CDC has confirmed 5 cases of locally acquired malaria in the United States. It's the first
come
time.
on.
No, thank you.
It's the first time in over 20 years, man. Malaria.
Now we about to get malaria, bro.
So listen. If you don't know, malaria is spread through mosquitoes. So
And man, it be
really,
so
it's
many
summertime.
mosquitoes.
It's hella mosquitoes out. Really, you might want to cover up this year. You know, really cover where. I know it's gonna be hot, but either stay indoors,
Man, I was just at the beach
wear your
yesterday.
bug repellent, long
Seriously.
sleeves. I'm not messing around with the mosquitoes this year. I'm not doing it because mosquitoes, yeah, it gets.
And they are active dusk and dawn, so you guys just beware. It's real out here. In the evening hours, that's when they love to feast. So wear your repellent, your bug sprays,
Yeah, they were spread, and this is the first. It's so crucial because it was actually they have cases in Florida, they have cases in Texas, and these are recent. And this hasn't been there hasn't been a locally spread case of malaria since 2003. So, got one more thing to add to the list of craziness for the summer.
I ain't got no comment.
So 20 years ago,
Yeah,
and they just happened to come back. Okay,
yeah.
all right.
Moving right along.
Moving right along. I don't know if you've seen this. Have y'all seen the video?
I did. The
Yes.
woman and her son.
Yeah, so a woman and her 14-year-old son were initially charged with murder after the video I saw picks up when a man is arguing with a woman in a hot dog stand. Well, not a stand, a restaurant. And he tells her basically like, say something else and I'm going to sock you. I'm going to knock you out, basically. He starts attacking her, but while the argument was escalating, the woman already texted her 14-year-old son, hey, I'm getting into a little situation. He comes from the car. He's standing in the doorway. Once the man starts beating his mom, pulls out the gun and fires hits the man. The man runs out. Mom instructs the boy to keep firing. They end up killing the man. And
She told him she was getting assaulted or something.
and initially they charged him with murder, but since then the DA came out and said we don't have enough evidence for these charges to stand, so they dropped the charges and they're
Hey, man.
released.
Congratulations to that family because
You know,
honestly, ooh,
yeah, I don't want anybody dying, but that young man did what he was supposed to. You know, I'm sorry. He's 14, and the way that man was hitting that woman,
Yeah,
right?
he is no telling what he would have did.
Yeah, you know, like, and don't get me wrong, because there's always two sides to a story, right? I'm not gonna say that, you know, she did deserve it. I don't know. I wasn't there,
I mean, the loss
but
of life is always tragic. I
What
yeah,
race?
mean,
What race was it?
black,
That's black.
yeah, but like the hitting was very excessive, and that boy knew he couldn't defend his mom, so of course, self defense. He shot the man to protect his mom.
Sad story.
Yeah, she could
It
have,
is what it is.
like Shauna said, she could have died from those blows for real.
exactly.
Exactly.
And one,
Oh
one,
my God, I'm getting tired of Clint.
uh, hey, and one thing is that if you have you saw the video,
I saw the
so
video.
nobody really said anything, not let alone step in. Nobody even spoke out, and that just shows like where we at right now as a whole, as a society, and what the culture is. Nobody really said, hey man, y'all chill out. Or
Yeah,
it ain't that
nobody didn't
serious,
stop it.
boss. It ain't that serious. Like nobody said nothing, let alone intervene and say, why are you hitting this person?
Yeah.
Because really, nobody had to die that day. That was
And let me just be
completely out
clear,
of
I'm
hand.
not saying congratulations to the death of this man. I'm just saying congratulations that a 14-year-old does not have to live through another tragedy in his life, seeing his mother get brutally attacked, but also going to jail for something that you never know if the hit was going to kill your mom, if they've threatened. I mean, we don't know
Yeah.
the ins and outs of the situation, but I'm just saying at that life, tragically we lost one, but we didn't have to basically see another one sacrificed through this. So
To G point, to G point though, it's funny because like I hear you with that. Why is no one intervening? But then you have cases too, man, and you intervene. Now
And
they
then,
both
yeah,
team up on you.
exactly.
No,
Because
I
you ain't
feel you,
minding
but
your
still, I
business.
mean, the
I,
lesser two. So look,
I wonder where's
that
that? It's a fine line between that though.
that
Like
that goes
minding
to
your
the
business.
question of the day. Question of the day is how can we work together to create a safer environment for Black women and children, right? So I feel you that that is a possible outcome, but not doing nothing. I mean, we have a society where a man that and they don't have no relation to each other. Now we don't know that, but if you pick up on the vibe of the video, that was just like an altercation, just something that they got into it with. They wasn't talking to each other as if they had a relationship or nothing going on. So when that can happen and nobody even says nothing,
I think the only way we're gonna do that is if
It got recorded.
no, I'm saying like how can
we'd have to form a whole new community, right, where we police ourselves and hold ourselves accountable, and then hold each other accountable. But we'd have to leave this social norm or this society. We have to walk away from this. Like it would have to be like
oh my
another
god.
Tulsa or something. Even though we know what happened in Tulsa, but in all these other, uh,
Dudes gonna start manufacturing Beyond Brothers.
Hey, I'm with that. I'm with that.
you
They can
know,
die.
No, I mean seriously though, man. Like
I
You
mean,
said
I
you
feel
ain't
like
scratch.
that was like something that was like very threatening. Words should not lead to violence. We should be able to talk to each other. No matter, I don't even care if you're using violent words. We don't have to hit each other. We don't have to kill each other. It's too much. It's too much out here that it's so much pain and hurt and things that we're going through that we just really can't experience a healing process when it comes to community, when it comes to each other, family, society, because it's always things in the world that's still a bruise to our being, and trying to work through all of that, as a community, as a people, we need to basically put forth the effort, the common effort to try to get through to the point where we kind of like resolve some of these issues that we have. But anyway, that's just my take on it.
yeah, no, yeah, I agree. I totally agree. I feel like it starts with like because it's what you said is like people are scared or they're fearful
Yeah.
to even intervene anymore. to get involved. And I feel that, but that can't be the norm. You know
And
what I'm
when you
saying?
see someone talking like that to a woman, what do you think they're going to do to you? Or, you know what I mean? Just as I'm just
That's
trying to put
facts.
myself in a position of,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
I'm not gonna hold you.
Like,
It's a tough spot. You know, I've
Yeah,
been in that
that's right.
situation before. You know what I'm saying? Where like, you know, I've intervened on some levels, but I didn't want to intervene too much. I'm like, yo, y'all need to chill. But because at the same time, I'm worried about my kids. I gotta go down too.
yeah.
This
Right.
ain't the last. This probably ain't the first or last ass whipping you fixing to get from him. Y'all been doing this.
But this wasn't even.
It's sorry. It's
So
sad
you
to
keep.
say.
I'm sorry, but
Yeah, but you keep going to a domestic
and that's an
situation, right?
assumption.
This not even a
Oh, I'm sorry.
domestic
It's not a
situation.
domestic. My bad.
They got into it, and I'm saying like
Oh, so it
for
was a domestic.
That's a little different.
for
My
women
bad.
and children just to be safe environments. So that's like if a woman goes to a Bradley Hut to get a burger, somebody in there, a man starts tripping on her
Yeah, no,
and starts firing on her, and nobody does anything but gets their phone out.
Nah, that's a problem.
Yeah, see, that's the thing I don't like. It's like if you're not going to intervene, don't take your phone out either.
Yeah.
You know, like I don't like that part. It's like
You gotta do
you know,
something.
if you're gonna mind your business, mind it all the way.
Like, let me document this. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like
That's a key
what
point.
can we
They
do?
didn't know each other.
Because we got to come back to this, man. I know we out of time, but we
Yeah.
got to try to figure out what can be done because when that's the future, right? And the children, and then you got the women. Come on now, who gonna make more children? So it's
You know what?
like if neither one of them are safe,
rhetoric for several years that a lot of black women feel like we're not protected. You know what I mean? And we hear all this protect black women at all costs, protect black people. You know what? We're not even protecting like our own like family members, our own cousins, our own mothers at times. You know, so it's like one of those things where we have to really, like someone mentioned earlier, take accountability for our own actions and say, you know what, let's be the change agent. You know.
Man,
Yeah.
It's just sad because real talk, it seems in y'all place.
two great
It's
points,
just
man.
sad.
You know, brother with the name said that it's up to the men to teach manhood to children and to teach them to protect as far as a young man so that you can come up and know that like what we missing is that feeling of protecting and improving your community. That's not really something that used to be in the culture, but now it's not in the culture. So that's a
Yeah,
great
but I
point.
mean, just
And
as
then
a
Shonda also
society,
brought up, you gotta get it on videotape because
if
they would
y'all
have been in jail without that video.
But if your uncles or fathers, if you're a man in today's
Mm-hmm.
times, I'm just saying, like 9 out of 10 times, if you're our age or whatever, you grew up in some kind of family situation where maybe not your father, maybe your uncle, but you knew somebody basically who was part of the crack era and all this kinds of drugs, gangbang, or whatever. So if you were a fatherless child, or if you were a person, a man right now today, right, who didn't have an uncle, who didn't have an example, who didn't have a father in the house, whose father was on crack, drugs, gangbang, or whatever, how are you going to teach somebody else how to basically come up and be a protector and do these other things or whatever? Like, all you know is like what you know, unless you've had counseling or whatever, but there's really no blueprint for this thing that we're saying to do, you know?
Exactly, because based
Right.
off what you're saying, you know, like there's a lot of men being raised by their moms, and women can't teach men how to be men, you know.
Facts.
And just like how you said, you know, like if there's no one around, how are we gonna get this information?
Right.
You know,
I think
it's
enough
blind
of
leading the
us,
blind.
enough people know about it though, and enough people we have examples of that in our community. Like it may not be the norm, but there's enough men to where if we wanted to push forth that agenda and that was something that was really important to us, we could accomplish that, man.
I think you
It's
gotta
enough
go
people.
back to where it's starting at. Like, you know, like he said, us men gotta do better raising our black men, and then if there's no black men in the home, our single moms gotta make sure they on point with that young black man.
And also, hey, if we know that's a problem in our community, I'm sorry, man, you're going to have to start really reaching out. And when you see a young man without a father, that male figure, you got to step up and like, you know, like we do in the shop a lot of times. You got to like, you got to be there. You got to fall in.
Yeah, but you have so many different cases, though. You know what I'm saying? Our community, man, it's layers to it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
It is layers to it, but man, this ain't cool.
like a lot
So
of,
it's like,
I'll talk about that all.
yeah. It's not cool. But that's it. We over time, y'all. Y'all have a great one.
See
See
y'all
y'all
later.
next week.
Thanks for the show.
Yeah.
Waking to the ground.
This is no, we get switched.
Kick it up.